everybody is a colleague, but you can never be a friend of yours. You can have a friend only to your college level, school levels. They are best friends basically. In corporates, they are never friends, but they are good colleagues. They are bad colleagues. They are worse colleagues, but they can only be colleagues to you. They can never be friends to you. That's my thought, and it's not my experience. It's not not only my experience, but in corporate, that is the situation basically. So everybody is a good colleague, and you have to be close to your colleague to that extent, wherever you feel that is the best thing which you can do, and render your help, or support them whatever the best possible you can do it. But never share your personal stuff, your personal weakness, your personal goals, or your personal your company job profile stuff, or anything related to the job work. Never share unless you require that is to be shared and to be known to other people to get to get a support from the other team. So that is very important. So I would be very upfront and very categorical in that in a professional thing, in a corporate setups, you've got to treat everybody as a good colleague, and never be things that they are good friend to you. They can never be a friend. They can always be try to be careful on that issue. What is the development? I would say that your development is either related to your current role or the role you wanted to do next. Personal development fits alongside with the professional growth. So if you want to progress in your career, you will need to develop personally first, which I told you initially also. So I would like you to think about that lines, and I'm only giving this small discussion on basis of that only. And I would, and one particular phrase which I always tell my friends and colleagues is that if your actions inspire others to dream more, learn more, do more, and become more, then you are a leader. You can only be a leader when your actions inspire them, basically. So I would definitely put my entire thoughts on that particular line of actions, which I would like to discuss about. One of the key aspects which I found in a corporate, wherever I've worked, I've been always punctual. I've never been a person who would be coming late, or who would like to come late. I would be 10-15 minutes earlier in my than my official timings which I would put. And I used to ensure that the 10-15 minutes which I get would definitely give me something to think about what is to be done this particular day. What are the work which I left yesterday evening which I could not complete, and what are the things which I have to carry on today. And especially if some specific directions have been given by my chairman or my reporting boss, definitely I would look upon that as a key thing. Then to start with that. So I always think that punctuality is very important in a corporate setup. And when I say punctuality, it doesn't mean that you come at 10 o'clock, you come at 9:30, it's your office time, and you leave by 6 o'clock, which is office time. You leave by 6 o'clock in the evening. I never meant that. What I meant basically is that coming is definitely in your hands. Going is not exactly whenever you feel like you should go. Of course, end of the day, if you feel that you have achieved certain things, you completed a task which you have been given, and you have done reasonably well, you're satisfied with today's work, and you feel that there is nothing which is urgency tomorrow morning, or something which your company is expected to do complete, and you didn't do it, then I would suggest that you should complete and go. Because ultimately, it is important that you should not be a timekeeper. You should basically a person who should ensure that given time, whatever the time may be, you should utilize best. And I've been definitely ensuring my entire life that I've never done my personal work in office hours. I've always ensured that when I do it, it should be the lunchtime, or when I do it after office hours. Suppose the office hours are after 6 o'clock, after 6 o'clock. I would do certain things after 6 o'clock, but I would have more or less, I would say 95%, 98%, I would say that I've ensured that I have not done certain things in the official work. This is very, very important life. And never have been I've been caught on the wrong foot doing personal work in my official time. I've never done that. One of the key aspects which I would always like to bring to my young professional colleagues is the presentability. How you present yourself, how you carry yourself. I'm sure you are all are audible, I suppose, Bhavesh. Is it audible, Bhavesh? Is it okay?
Yes, yes, audible.
Yeah, sorry. One of the key aspects as a professional growth is that your presentability, how you present, how you carry yourself. You don't have to be wearing a jacket, tie every time, basically. Whatever you do, you should be a professional. If you're a professional, you have to act like a professional. Walk into the office with a clean stuff, with a good pressed shirt, trousers, and a clean, a shining shoes. Never wear a shoes which is dirty. Your personality reflects your office of your professional stuff. I would absolutely see that. I've seen many, I've been having visitors from abroad. They would look at your shoes first, how and look and think about how good professional you would be. So it's very important that if person has to be in a professional qualified person has to be look amicable, should be presentable, and you should have a right attitude to carry yourself that way. It gives you confidence to discuss with any of your colleagues or any of your any of your visitors whenever they come to the office. So I maintain that. I feel that my profession, and sometimes I've seen that some of the our professional colleagues don't do that way. I've told them very clearly when they used to come to my office, I would expect my profession, whether a CS or CS or anybody for that purpose, be a little bit more careful when you dress and meet people. It's very important. So I would hop on upon them that it should be very clear in where the presentability is concerned. Adaptability. There are cases where I feel that people feel the professional feel that I've not been given that kind of I'm a professionally qualified person. I have not been given uh, 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 a chamber or a room or any kind of good desk to sit and to do the work. You remember? I'll tell you. I've got a memory. I was working in a company. I will not name the company, and I had a fantastic office. I joined a new startup company into healthcare, and suddenly I found that from a fantastic, good office, plush office, to a open cubicle where four people were sitting in one cubicle. And I was there for 1.5, 2 years until I moved to a new office, which was built subsequently when the setup came. So you've got to be adaptable wherever you're given a space to work with. Idea is that management wants to give you the best out of it. Sometimes the management are not able to give it because of the work, the space constraint or anything basically. But then you should not take it light. You should not feel it bad. I would I would expect a professional of you should not consider this as a very major issue on that issue on that thing. So I hope I'm fine. Whatever which I've been conveying. Yeah? I hope the team is some of the team definitely would be quite experienced in this matter, but I still would like to keep on speaking on this matter, which is very important to me. Accountability is another thing which I would definitely, as a professional growth, would like to uh, touch upon. Hello,
Yes.
Bhavesh.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yeah, accountability. If you're a professional, you have to be accountable to whatever work you do. No, don't leave that to your colleagues or your juniors or anybody. If you have been given a role of any of your professional work, I think you should be completely accountable until you complete the work. So pointing mistake on somebody's thing, he was supposed to do it, I didn't do it. It's something which is absolutely not taken in a good spirit by the management. So I would, in spite of you having a good team members, I would feel that you are the accountable person, you are the responsible person. You should completely ensure that everything is complete. So don't leave these things to any of your juniors who has taken the initiative to complete the work from their own. But because you didn't look into upon it and you have said, you have booked up the work ultimately and doesn't put the responsibility on that person. It is ultimately you are accountable, you are responsible for it. I would like to kind of show that I've never in my life put the onus on my team, and in spite of I might sometimes looked into it. I might have overlooked into it possibly, but I've never left that on my team that no, because he has done it. No, it is my responsibility. I've done it. It is my mistake. So that's I would like a good professionals. A good professional is recognized by that. Acceptability of your mistake. That is very important. Trusting, team trust, which is very important. When I say team trust, you should trust your team very clearly, but not blindly. Don't leave it to them absolutely in there that हो जाएगा सब कुछ कर लेंगे, they will do it. No, that's okay. They will do it. I'm sure about it. But you should have the ultimate responsibility of ensuring that everything has been done properly. So I would again tell you guys, if you are, some of them might be may not have a young a team with them, but ultimately you're growing up. You will have a team of yourself. You will have much a larger responsibility. Whatever it is, ensure that whatever they do, depending upon how experienced their persons are, end of the day, you're supposed to look into it and if possibly go through it, how it has been done. Not that you are suspecting their work. It is just that ensuring that they have done it properly and that the way the company requires to be done basically. So that's one thing which I want. Not blindly, but definitely trust your team. Very important. One of the key things which I've always been very keen about, integrity. In my entire life, I would have never taken one paisa extra from any of my company. I'm sure that I would have given my money to the company, and I would have waived off my reimbursement. But definitely, I would have never taken any money extra from the company. I feel that certain professionals like CS and legal and all, we basically are mostly support functions. Basically, we don't generate revenue for the company, and we have to ensure whatever we spend is to be is actually required or not. So I've been very careful in my my dealing, whether I deal with any professional colleagues, any professionals outside or anywhere. Yeah, I've number of occasions I must have traveled in my own car without having claimed my reimbursements. I'm not saying that this is integrity part of it, but I've never excessively claimed anything basically which is required. I've only there have been occasions where my dues have been not paid, but I've never bothered that at all. You have to be you have whatever job you're doing, you have to show it that integrity is there. You should be conscious about your cost. You should be conscious about the company's contribution to what the company is expecting from out of you. So I would definitely look for that as one of the key things basically. So every penny saved is penny earned. That's what I feel. So I definitely will be very honest and show me integrated towards expenditure, and I would ensure that I don't my team doesn't expend on anything. In my entire life, probably I would have never paid any money additional payment in ROC or any other fine towards delayed payment. So that is something which I've already been very successful in my entire life. Expandability. I would say that knowledge is something which we are. There'll be a lot of people who are a company secretary, a chartered accountant, and law graduates, and multiple qualifications. There'll be many people who will be only company secretaries and law graduates. There'll be many people only company secretary qualifications, maybe not be law graduates. But I would definitely harp on that whenever you are in a profession, whether it's chartered accountant or a CS, there is no harm in you extending your knowledge to the related fields, so that you are aware of certain things, So accounting standards, something which I can think about. A company secretary does require a lot of things on accounting standards. So having that knowledge in accounting standards is a great boon for a company secretary, and we should be very careful when you handle certain things. So I would, for a professional development, I would definitely say that expansion of a knowledge and related fields is very important, and in any current scenario, because it is very competitive out in the corporate sector now. Under the current situation, COVID, there will be much more challenges in coming days. So I expect that every person should learn, read, and try to kind of grasp knowledge wherever it's possible. in the last 2 months, whenever I was working from home, I did apart from my usual official or activities during the day, I did my certification course from the University of Pennsylvania in the evening, just to complete, just to get new knowledge. That's the only thing. It just kicks you basically to get additional knowledge. So I would expect my professional colleagues to kind of think about that lines. Don't only say that I'm a company secretary or I'm a chartered accountant. I'll look into only that specific field which I know about it. No, it's not possible. You should be knowing multiple things, reading things basically, and may not be able to utilize it, very often, but definitely knowledge will help you out. Sometimes, especially in a board meeting, some directors would ask you certain questions of accounting standards, and you are prepared. That will definitely give you a great morale boosting before the management. Another thing is initiatives and challenges, which I always say that, would never be restricted to only one field of area which you are. Don't be content to X field. Suppose you are a company secretary, no, I'll do only a secretarial job. I'll only do company. That is not my job. I've seen people in certain department, and I will not quote the company, and I've seen professionals who are, no, I'm a company secretary. Why should I get into that kind of thing? No, it's not that. Every professional is expected to do something new. I mean, something they are supposed to provide, because we, as being a support functions, we are more into support function. We have to see that what more contribution one can give to the company, and whatever way which you can give it, it is always good. But of course, what I say that don't gulp what you cannot chew, basically. So you should only put something in your mouth what you can chew ultimately. So never to take something which you feel that you are already overburdened, and it just for the additional responsibility or additional initiative, just for initiative, you're taking any add-on responsibility. I will not suggest that, but if possible, you can spare some time, take additional work, give that management comfort that you have initiative, you are accepting new challenges, and give that to your team members also, and let the team also take initiative, and if they are keen to support any further functions, they're keen anything which they would like to do it. Please let them do it, provided the ultimately work does not affect you. That's the only thing. So I would definitely say that challenges and initiatives has to be part and parcel of a professionals. And I've seen, I'll give you one example. When I was working in a company which is now merged with my ACC and all, I was given a challenge, though I was a company secretary and legal aid, but I was given a challenge to liaison with the government to reduce reduce chemical, which is a polyvinyl PVA. It was a compound which we used to, which had a high import duty, which was affecting my production. It was having substantial cost in my ultimate end product. So I was given a task of getting the PVA import duty reduction from X percentage to X percentage, and it was a big challenge basically. And I never had interacted with government ministries and other chamber of commerce basically. But you wouldn't believe it, my friends, that in a span of 4 years, I had interacted with multiple chamber of commerce, like your FICCI, your PhD Chamber of Commerce, and CIA, Ministry of Commerce, Ministry of Environment, Ministry of Finance. Ultimately, had reduced that components import duty from X percentage to substantially reduced to a percentage where we could at least compete in the market. So at least this was a challenge which I felt that made me quite of interesting, and I would say that you should also be in a position to expand your area of operation to the possible where you can feel that the management can give you add-on responsibility. And one of the recent companies, recent companies I had when I joined the company, there was it was Gujarat. GADC had GADC had not change the name of the company. Company had changed the name in previous years. In the last 5 years, a land which was purchased by the old company's name was never changed by GIDC because of the stamp duty issues and multiple issues basically. It was 5 years. It was lingering on, and nothing was being done, and nothing was being done by the ex team guys. I'm not blaming them. Everybody has their limitations. But when I found out, I understood that what was the issue basically. I had come to GIDC's office. I met the managing director of GIDC, informed the issues, gave the complete how the name change happened, what the existing name has only changed. The company remains the same only. Satisfied them everything with it, and ensured that the name of the company, name of the landowner, the name on the land ultimately changed from the old company's name to the new company without having any complications at all. And now the company have last 2 years, the company have built in a factory there. I'm very happy that at satisfactory that it was lingering on for 5 years. I did that, took up the challenge. I did completely. That's fine of just 2 years only. Just dealing with them, discussing with them, went and met them, and did multiple efforts, multiple photocopies of documents, satisfied all the possible points they had raised, and ensured that it is ultimately changed. It is done. So what I suggest is tell the professional is that if you want to grow, you have to have this inbuilt or something which teaches you that you should take the challenges, get into an area which you are not familiar with. Probably you will don't be afraid to get into that. Ultimately, you will learn when you jump into it. I'll say that I will not. I'll say that when you if you want to swim, that you have to ultimately dive into the pool to swim it. So ultimately, you have to start exploring those your internal potentials to kind of get the work done. And it is really notable, and management appreciates those kind of stuff, and it is recognized by the management ultimately. So I feel that my friends should definitely not be restricted to a X area only. Should take on challenges and try to grab on work wherever possible. Participatory is another thing. I would like my friends that should whatever job you're handling, it should be your team should be participating to it wherever possible. There'll be instances when management feels that okay, this is a potential job which we have planned to do. Don't leak out to your team right now. Okay, you can hold that. Agree with you. I will not press upon those kind of things. But wherever you feel that you have been given a responsibility of certain stuff, you leave it to your team and let the team, everything be participatory, and let the team completely work upon you with you and do it. Not only that, you want to show that you face to management that you've done the work. No, that should not be there. Your team should be equally part and equally presentable before the management, and management should acknowledge that it is a team effort. It's not only X person's effort or X person's initiative which has done it. So I would like you have to have your team members' confidence, they participatory, so that they will be part of you always whenever you want them. And I've always given I've picked up my team whenever I picked up. I've never picked up my team from my ex companies and all. I've always picked up my team, new teams, youngsters or new experienced person. I've given them complete liberty and free access to work, and and participation, whatever job which I've done basically, and always keep them informed of everything. Prioritization, which again another area which I have. I'll be upfront. Maybe I was little naive initially, but subsequently I've become a very conscious about how to prioritize. When I say prioritization, is that it's not only a professional work or job which definitely you'll prioritize, which I know about it. Sometimes it happens that your MD, your manager, or whoever you promote to, you would have said that okay, Mr. Menon, please, I want you to do this. I look upon this article and get back to me. And you probably would have thought, okay, he had said that to you that I mean, when I'm talking about maybe not the manager part of it, maybe I'm talking about a little bit higher rank, MD or a chairman. Sometimes you have to feel that your normal routine work can wait. If an MD or a chairman level have asked you certain things that, please look into it, have a, go through it and get back to me. So I've seen that that is very important. When I say prioritize, is that sometimes your top level person has sought certain information from you, and you should not prioritize your office normal routine work with that work. You should prioritize his respect his position, and try to complete that thing before you complete your other routine works. Of course, other prioritization definitely, you should not compromise on that. That is up to subsequently, because you have to complete your normal routine prioritization, we cannot afford to be non-compliant, which you do it other ways. But you have to ensure that when you are in a corporate setup, your chairman, your MD, or anybody who is given you certain work, ensure that please take it seriously. Don't take it lightly that way also. And one of the instances I remember, it was long years back. My chairman called me up, said, Suresh, have a look at that legal case and get back to me. And that time I remember that one of my junior had just left, and I was in a mid of taking over the entire stuff, and because I had to have somebody appointed his time, but I need to take the entire job where he was handling it, so that I should understand what is the leftover work and what I should complete. So I probably would have wasted 1.5 days or 2 days to take the things, because he was leaving in very quickly. So, but I felt very, very, very bad and very, very embarrassed when my chairman after the third day asked me that, Suresh, did you go through it? So I had to show a very blank face. Sir, I'm sorry, I was getting this handing over stuff from so and so. Oh, I'm sorry, Mr. Menon. I would have expected you to complete it, and it was very embarrassment for me. I'll tell you. So things which is very, so prioritization, when I meant basically is that prioritize things which you feel is important, and if it is given by your boss, prioritize that very important. And if it is a chairman level or MD level person, never let that go. Ultimately, it is very important. I hope I'm clear about those kind of steps. So it is, though it is a general topic, but I still would like to kind of touch upon to young professionals. One of the things which I've learned over the years is confrontation. Never confront. Never confront publicly with any professional, whether professional is a junior, your team member, your colleague, your competitor, or anything. Confront one-to-one specifically, never publicly, never you kind of try that you have more knowledge than the other person, which is again taken it in a very bad spirit. So even if you probably would have been expert in that particular field, say in a manner that it is heard, but if it is not, if it is ignored by the top man, leave it. Let it be some other time we can tell the top person, no, so this should have been done this way. But I didn't press upon it, because I thought it was not good, because the other person was very keen on certain things. I wanted to kind of inform me success, but not in a kind of a backbiting manner, but it's legally correct, and you stand by whatever you are saying about it. Please confront one-to-one with the person and inform your management, or if it is legally and correct, but never try to put him down in front of people. That will definitely not a good sign. Another thing is that communication. Communication is one thing which I definitely would like to kind of press upon. That every professional will have to have certain decency of communication, whether it is an email communication, whether it is a vocal communication, or whether any kind of communication, written communication. You should be very, very careful with your words, because emails, once you send, it's very difficult to kind of retract, unless you retract immediately. But emails can be quoted anywhere, and sometimes you tend to communicate in a spur of moment, and you feel very agitated with certain things which you are not aware of it. You communicate. But please, I would expect my all younger professionals and friends professionally, the communication plays a big part in our profession and professional development. And one has to very choose the words and choose the word when communicating. You may be really pissed off with certain actions of some other department or some other things or some other professionals. But when you write a communication, when you email, or when especially when you CC to your management or your chairman or MD, you have to be very very careful what you do. So please be ensure that your words have to be politely and very clearly without causing any kind of personal hatredness or enmity or any kind of any agitation towards you that how come he has communicated that way. Never do that. Give a very very polite with a clear picture in a manner which other person will feel it also, and by understanding that particular communication. Please understand that this is very important for a professional development. I would very clear. And all my communications where I emails, I have been restrained. I will only mail it only when I require, if it is to be done. Just for making other person put down, I will never communicate. Even if I want to communicate to him that this is wrong, I will put one-to-one communication. I will never CC to my management showing that no, I've informed him this way, CC to you, this is the way it should be done, not this way. That's not the right way. Because ultimately every department matters a lot for the company. You may not be a revenue generator for the company. You may be support functions. There are other support functions, but every support is required for the company to gel. You cannot have any kind of personal enmity or personal issues with any person with just communications. Be very clear. So when I'm talking about those communications, not the drafting skills. I'm sure that everybody will be careful when they draft to the outside world. But I'm talking about internal communications, which we do it to our friends and our colleagues in other departments, and sometimes to our senior management team also. Preparedness. Okay, this is, I'm sure that we are all professionals. We have board meetings and multiple board meetings with seniors. Is it okay what I'm telling you? Is it? I hope you are not boring. Yeah? I'm not. I'm feeling it. This is a general comment which I wanted to communicate to you guys. Hello, Bhavish. Hello.
Yes, sir, we can hear you.
Yeah, you can hear me now. Okay, sure. So one of the key things which I feel that preparedness, whenever we have a board meetings or any meetings for the purpose, any meetings, don't take it lightly. Whatever contents you are planning to discuss or your agenda items you probably will be discussed in the meetings have to be extremely gone through 1 day or 2 days before. Ensure that whatever backup papers you have it are, and certain things sometimes you feel that this was not mine, this is some other departments, but have a backup of that. Ensure that you have backup papers to support each and every items you want to present or every items to be discussed in the meetings. So some of I remember that in one of my earlier board meetings we had professional directors from my institutional directors who used to kind of come, and they used to come with fully preparedness, ensuring that how a company secretary, a CFO, mistakes are, we are better knowledgeable, we are better experienced people, we can find the mistakes, and they do find the mistake in spite of best preparedness, best backup, still we find sometimes very embarrassed. So please ensure the whatever agenda items you prepare, you go to the next 3 years or next 4 years, and ensure that anything related to that field, you should have that in your computer. You should have that as a backup. I remember in my previous company, in the last company I worked with, though the dividend distribution was generally in all the companies, the company secretary used to have a dividend distribution. In my previous company, it was not a listed company; it was a public company, but not a listed company. We had shareholders, and we used to distribute dividend. So and the dividend, one of the dividend was getting matured, and we had to deposit in the that fund, the government fund, IEPF, whatever you call it. And the time was to go, and we had to put this agenda item before with the board to get the approval of the board. And you won't believe it, the dividend distribution was not with the company secretary and legal team. It was with the accounts team. So I presume that my team members in the accounts would know what is the who is the person whose dividend is not been paid, and we have to deposit in the investors protection fund. So the chairman looked at me and I said, Suresh, who is this person, and where is this where does he stay? Frankly, I'll tell you, I'll be very upfront to you, I was not prepared for it. I expected my accounts people, because they were the person who were distributing the dividend, they knew everything about it. I told them to please have a list of unpaid dividend list. So I had to look at my accounts guys, but the chairman expected that I should be replied. I should have replied it basically. But my colleague from the accounts department was prepared, and she replied to it. The idea basically is that don't take anything for granted that somebody will be there to help you out. Somebody will be having the information. No, it's not there. You should be kind of anything related to your field, anything it is your agenda item, and you should be well prepared for it. What, of course, there are accounts and finance things which you may not be able to contribute, but definitely whatever area falls under you, which is known to you, should be part and parcel of that information should be there with you. So I would really sharp upon you that you guys have to prepare on that. Okay, another thing which is a responsiveness. When I see responsiveness is that, or when I meant responsiveness, basically is a response is to give an answer or react to a question raised to you. I remember in one of my earlier days, there used to be a whole-time director in my company, and there used to be I'll put it RPG days. Let me put it very clearly, Bhavesh. RPG had a concept called, board directors. This was a group board, not the individual company's board. And every board had, core board had X companies to look after. So one of the core board members had a fantastic, what do you call it, character. He had a great character that whenever I used to call him on his contact number, that time mobile was not very prevalent, and he was a very busy person. He would always be on traveling. So I used to call his office, and the secretary, I used to tell that I had called up for this purpose. So I will not name the person, but he was such a meticulous person. Whenever he used to land up, first thing he would pick up the call and ask me, Suresh, what is exactly you want to check out with me? So when I'm telling you this kind of thing is that wherever you're busy in your team meetings or any kind of other matters, be responsive to any calls you receive from any member or any, it could be outsider, it could be a professional thing. Have a courtesy to call back and discuss what is the issue. Specifically, if it is a professional related work, definitely you should give it time, call back and find what is an issue. And if that can wait for some time, definitely always you can tell them, please, I will be able to get back to you on the matter. Another thing which I would never been in a hurry to respond immediately to your superiors. If you're very thorough, be very sure about your answer, please go ahead and do it. But if you have a 10% not sure about what you feel that you're going to be saying correct, I would ask you to kind of say that, sir, let me get back to you. I will get back to you. So please ensure that, if you say something wrongly, then you repent is very bad. Then you will not be, taken from your face value. You should always be sure that, okay, sir, I think this is the correct answer, but let me check and get back to you. If you are 100% not sure about it. This is very important, because this is also I've learned from my seniors only. I've been observing people, watching people. Some people have advised me specifically, some people have not advised me, but over the years you learn, and you want to give that to your juniors. You want to tell your juniors, this is what you expect. Never been hurried to say that, oh, mujhe sab kuch pata hai yaar. I know I can just kind of, I want to show that I'm so sharp to kind of tell my management, blah, blah, blah. This is act, this is so and so. This is section which I want to put. Okay, if you're sure about it, please go ahead, no issue. But if you have little doubt, hang on to it. Check with it, because the laws are complicated. There are contradictory laws and some other things. You should check that also. Ensure that everything is, you're sure what you're telling. Because the management take you you're professional, you're a KMP, definitely you would they would take your face value. But if it is goes wrong, you're really giving a bad image. So please ensure that. Okay, this is just a normal thing. I would, as a professional, I've never gossiped or did any kind of back talks or any kind of stuff with anything of my entire career to any of bitch biting and all those things. I don't believe in it. I've never been that at all. So I'm not touching much at all, but I would like to kind of never tell your colleagues that, my team member is not functioning that way. He's just little slow. He's just not up to the mark. Never do that. Always take your team members together. Oh no, he's a bright boy. No, he'll come up. He'll do well. He'll definitely. There'll be some issues with everybody. The personal issues, some issues everybody would carry. But never talk wrong things about your. And this is a political thing which I don't want to harp on much basically. But I'm firm believer that I've never gossiped or kind of did any kind of bitch biting to any of my colleagues or team members. Never done it. Respect other person's view, even if it is, which I think already have talked about it. Just 1 second. Okay, one of the key aspects which I want to touch upon is that I don't know how many guys you will be really sharing the updates to the management or your colleagues. If you're not doing that way, suppose there is an updation in any company's act or a FEMA or any other laws basically which you feel related to your area of function or related to your industry concern. I would like our professional youngsters to kind of share that with the concerned team members and the department heads. Of course, the management definitely counts in it. You have to share that you're updating your knowledge, you're making aware of your colleagues and teammates that this is the upgradation of the law which has recently popped up, and one should be careful about it. It may not be only in your area, it may be related other areas, but your industry area. Because as a company secretary, you're a compliance officer and you're responsible for the entire laws applicable to industry. You should be kind of very clear in informing this to your departments and ensure that this is the changes which one has to be adhered to and one has to prepare to. And if you get put onto a small note on that, what was the prior change, what was the prior current one, what is the new one, and everything will help you a lot and will definitely have a lot of respect to you as a professionally, which I felt is very important nowadays. Another thing is that, I don't know how many guys you do it. If you have team members, you should at least spend 1 hour every 2 weeks or every 10 days discussing about the amendment laws, changes, the new things which you feel that we can implement in the company. And maybe one of previous companies, I had implemented compliance tool. So I discussed with my team members, should we implement that? Will that be good? Because in my previous company, I had implemented that. I was keen to kind of implement that. So I discussed with my team members. I ensured that the team is with you. A team has to support you. A team has to do the audit for legal compliances issues. So it is. So not only that implementation, but every law which is every week you find changes in in the various legal laws, but everything you may not able to grasp it or kind of discuss about it. But at least key things you should discuss at least once a week or once in 10 days or once in 2 weeks, at least a month. Once in a month you should take out time, and that is very important. And it not only develops your personal professional knowledge, but also helps you that youngsters can be better knowledgeable sometimes, and you can learn from them, and vice versa. Experienced guys can give their experience to the youngsters. They will also get the confidence level, and that gives them a confidence to sit with your bosses and discuss with you, and they feel that you're a part of the family. I feel that is very important. Uh, Another thing which I want to again say is that I don't know how many people you do monthly reporting. In our field of areas, earlier I never used to do till 10 years back. I've never used to be kind of ensuring that I used to prepare monthly reports because I'm not a salesperson. I'm not a marketing person to kind of say that these are the sales which I've done. These are stuff which I've done. This is the area which I covered. But off and on, I've seen that every management, top management, see that a company secretary or a CFO would write definitely say that these are the savings which I've done over the this thing. A company secretary will require to kind of have a monthly reporting schedules. End of the month, whatever work you've done, whatever whether you have filed 10 forms, whether you have met so and so, whether you've done 3-4 contracts, put it in paper. Put that this is thing there. This is what I've done entire month. Prepare that entire chart. Make a format of a chart and report first on the first, second, third within first 5 days of the next month. Inform the managing director or chairman, whomever report. I'm sure the company's KMPs report to the top person. I used to do that. I used to ensure that it is just not that your role. It is not just justifying your role. It is just that since we are not revenue generators for the company, so we have to ensure that we have kept everything under control. We have filed the forms which is in time frame, no delays at all. The management feels very comfortable. I discussed with one of my chairman. I said, sir, I hope I'm not boring with you with all this report which I'm sending it to you monthly. They're very categorically, Suresh, no, I appreciate that. Nobody has done it so far, but I appreciate that this is a good thing you started. At least I know what you're doing. I thought you were sitting Vela. So, so, so it was, so I used to kind of, no, sir, I have to kind of, I used to be doing this every management, every company I worked. I used to ensure that my end of the month, whatever work discussion I did, I used to do many contracts, agreements basically, and which and I have to put a table which department has required that agreement, and what is the and whatever issues which have been solved or resolved or tried to be resolved, I've been put across. And if it is pending, I would say it is still carrying on. It'll go to subsequent month. That's a way. It's a very good way of expressing that you're doing certain work. You're doing certain things which the company is recognizing you. Company is paying you that amount. Ensure that you are basically uh, justify. I'll not say put the justification word, but I'll say that you feel satisfied at the end of the day that you communicated what you've done. Right? So this which I want to conclude. Okay, now another thing which I would a company secretary would like to kind of or a legal person, we try to wherever possible, wherever there's a company organized uh, seminars or company organized, you should sponsor yourself to be playing a key small part of some presentation in any of the forums when you get. You understand? Suppose there is an amendment in certain laws. There's a company law can take it. You want to take it a 5-10 minute session to inform the senior management team that I want to present this important aspects, which is very key thing basically. Going forward, the company may be going for IPO, blah blah, whatever it is. You want to ensure that this is there. You as a public speaking, and I will not say public speaking that for the purpose, because I'll say that in-house speaking or in the company, wherever you get a forum to speak, wherever you want to get external counsel, external people to get support to your topic, please do that. Ensure that you show that you are a key role. You will see that there will be human resources department will be presenting, bringing that experts of certain fields to come and make the presentation or kind of do the training. Similarly, you can get a professional lawyer or professional person in some kind of field. Maybe it must be some area which you feel that you're not competent or you're not experienced enough to do it, but you would like that to be addressed to your team members, your colleagues, and it's a key area. Bring that out and take that for small session out of any of your listing. Ensure that you're heard by your management. So that is area which I can put yourself think about in those lines also. Another thing which I would like you to do is that volunteering yourself for social activity. I don't know how many people are into charitable activities, which I don't know, which you guys are youngsters, maybe money might not be the enough thing, but physical presence also sometimes matters a lot. In my previous company, we had this, marathon runs and all. Though I'm a hardcore runner, in spite of getting up early for 4:30 in the morning, I used to ensure that I volunteer myself to be present there, to basically to be a team support or team cheerleader person to be along with them. They'll be proper. So one should not think that ये सब चीजें यार मेरे काम का नहीं है, मेरे काम तो legal का है, secretarial है, accountant. No, I think we should go and be part and parcel of entire, whether it is a set up NGO which you want to volunteer yourself, you extra time, whether you part of your own companies, there will be many forums. The chairman would be having their own NGOs or any kind of social networking setups. So please volunteer, please be part. Say that whatever physical work you can do, even if you distribute prasadam to the temples, please be a volunteer. Please show that you are keen to kind of be there whenever there is a requirement of there. So I would suggest that think about those lines. Please ensure that you should be part of social networking and social work and charity work whenever you have time. Definitely for professional enlargement and enhancement, you have to attend seminars, conferences, whether it is if it is in your town, definitely not. Why not? If it is not in your town, if possibly once in 6 months or once in a quarter, definitely attend. Take a get the budget approved from the management that I need to attend this seminar. It is my professional growth only. I would like to be part and parcel of enhancement, and I would definitely want to put knowledge and contribute to the company in the whatever possible. So I would like you to attend wherever possible, whatever time you get, to ensure that you are attending these programs. Finally, I will only touch upon last thing. I think there are many things I wanted to go. I think there is some constraint of time. Bhavish is looking, staring at me. I can understand it. So one thing I would like to say that wherever you work, if you have a professional growth, you're seeing a professional growth in the company. You're seeing professionally, you are getting developed. You're getting chances of enhancement of your work. You're getting recognition in your work. Maybe less, maybe monetarily less, maybe otherwise more. You have good colleagues and you have good functional area, good organization to work with, and potential good group to work and expand. Never jump. Never switch over to a group and company where you wait for a small money, for a better kick. No, you should only see that when you feel that you have reached a saturation point and you feel that absolutely not I'm not able to get anything out of it. I waited enough patient. Now I want to get into a different industry setup, not similar industry. Do it. I've never done in my career for the heck of getting a better salary. I've always done jumped over the company for an industry purpose. You see my graph. I worked started with my work in a travel agency. Went to a chemical fertilizer company. Then went to a cement company. Then went to a transmission company, then went to a building products company. So only were to kind of having a different gimmicks of setups. But trust me, company secretary's position will remain same only. But legally, definitely you will enhance your scope. When I was in a healthcare sector, when I joined the real estate sector, just to ensure that I have to be part of the private equity investment in the companies, and I learned a lot of things. So when you feel that you're not getting the enough opportunity to learn, or there's not expansion, then only you should consider changing your company. Otherwise, don't do it, because nowadays it's very difficult to get a good company. Probably you will see that, oh, पिछली company मेरी अच्छी थी, यार मैं यहाँ क्यों आ गया? you youngster, in the younger, when you are a youngster, you get the kick down. यार उसको इतनी salary मिल रही है, तो वो मिल रहा है, तो I should leave or no. Never do that. Do only when you feel that there is a saturation point. I've got, I'll not name again the company, a junior which I picked up. She was an absolutely new junior, and fresh out from the CS qualification. She was a wonderful lady and wonderful to work with. And recently I saw, why you left? Sir, I didn't find any opportunity. I didn't find any kind of growth in the company. I said, why? No, there's a limit of saturation. So I thought I'll leave and give myself a break basically. I didn't join anywhere, sir, but I'm just giving a break myself. That's a different issue. It's a different issue. But don't go for the purpose of getting a small salary hike. Only if the position and responsibility or industry where you feel that you can contribute, you can expand, or you probably better group, then only you should think about. I would rest upon my discussion. I think I've done enough. I don't know whether any guys, most of the guys must be experienced. I must have gone through all these things. But this is a general talk which I was told Bhavish to speak, so I did speak. I don't know whether I've really come up to your expectation, but whatever which I feel I can contribute. There are many things which I had already done, but I didn't want to continue further. I don't know whether you. So Sunday के दिन 10 बजे कई लोग सोच रहे होंगे सर ने क्या क्या सुबह सुना दिया. So over to you, Bhavesh and team, other guys. Thank you very much for giving me the opportunity to discuss with you. I hope it was a little bit, but I hope that this was in my heart. I wanted to convey that to you.
Thank you very much, sir, for your kind words and for the knowledge which you have shared with your experience. It is really very useful to all the members and all the participants who have attended this session. There are a few questions which we have received today from our members, which I want to ask you is, there is one question is received that whether the scope in employment is limited as compared to practice in CS career?
Well, it's a tough question which I have never tried to get into practice. So I've tried. I will be upfront with you. I'll try to go into practice couple of times, but sometimes the employment always pulled me out, and I went back to the industry. Definitely, there are challenges. I'll tell you, the CS professional for any profession for the purpose. It is a challenging stuff nowadays. The law changing, and you have to be updated with all the laws. And if you're in a practice, you get into you're dealing with multiple situations when you're in a practice. You get multiple clients and multiple issues. You're going through the multiple sections of the Companies Act or other laws. You're updating your knowledge, and you are sure that after updation, probably one particular questions you have been raised, your answer to them are justified. That might again pop up after some time with some of the companies. So you feel that you are contributing and you are getting more exposure to that multiple fields. Definitely yes. In that way, yes. But there are limitations also because you have to actually expect the company to get back to you, ask you certain things. In a legal profession, probably chances are more than company secretaries. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong, but multiple because legal lawyers now NCLTs are also there. If you can expand your profession to the NCLT practice, definitely it has much more to contribute. Sorry, I missed that out. Now NCLT is also there. CS profession can practice into NCLTs, and so there are multiple forums where we can argue, we can represent ourselves. If that is possible, you can do it. I would definitely say that will give you kick. I'll tell you, my daughter, she's a lawyer. She works for Anand and Anand, and she's a lawyer and she's a litigation lawyer. I'll tell her, why don't you join a corporate? Dad, I don't get a kick in corporate. I like to be in practice because I want to be in practice. So some people have adapted their mind being in the practice right from the beginning. So when, now if I feel going for a practice, I feel, oh, come on, yeah, I need to do that thing. I need to do this thing. So but if younger age, at your age, 5 years, 10 years down after the qualification, if you can start your practice, nothing like it. You'll definitely get a kick and you will progress while you're practice. After, like me, after my fag end of years, I want to go for a practice. It is tough for me. I mean, it'll consume a lot of things for me to get into realities, So I found it tough basically when twice I went for practice.
Thank you,
So
sir.
I'm not discouraging anybody, my friends. Please, if you are young, please go ahead with it. I'm for that purpose, because youngsters have more energy level and eagerness to learn more things. So I think you can learn it. We can compete with anybody.
Thank you, sir. The next question, I don't know how to frame that question, but that comes from the female members. There are few bosses in the corporates who are actually want that only female members should be work under their team. So, and they don't want to leave them. So what is the solution to them? How to handle such type of bosses? So this is the question. And I don't know how to frame it. It is in the right words. I don't know.
That's okay, perfectly fine. Look, I'll not be any kind of anything against male juniors or female juniors. I've had occasion to work with both of them. In my last couple of companies, I've had female juniors more than the male juniors. I came to the company. I had people, but they were fantastic professionals. They were doing the job very well. There is no such kind of thing that male are not required. Sometimes you feel that you can't. There's an emergency work and there are the limitations for ladies, but I'll never have let them sit late in the office. It's entirely up to your willingness. If you want to continue work, finish your work, please do it. Now the laptops are available. You can do the work at home also. No, not an issue at all. But I don't know. I've never come across such kind of stuff. But this is a tough question for me to answer. But it's very difficult. I had some of the male juniors who still fantastic guys, still are in touch with me and very keen to kind of come along with me when I join another company. But I've been a person who is not that I don't like to bring the previous people to here, but I do not like that kind of taking them, and the company management would also feel offended when I kind of pick them up. So I definitely would not like to offend those kind of steps. So I've kept them there wherever you are. Please, not right now. Whenever in next two companies, whenever I've got opportunity, I'll take you. But I've never take them immediately. Similarly, uh, uh, yeah, same thing. Whole. I mean, I will never say that I don't know what to answer about that, Bhavesh, frankly. But I have no. I've never had such kind of special affinity towards any particular sex or something. It is always, but I've been lucky. I'll tell you, I've been lucky, Bhavesh, that whenever I picked up first people, I had a reasonable successful, say 85-90% successful rate of picking up the right junior. So I had been comparatively very lucky in my tenure. Wherever I picked up very well. Even I picked up a junior when I was in building products company. He's doing very well. He's a company secretary in a very big company. So I've got another junior who I picked up, who picked up me, who probably was there before me, but he got a great opportunity, and I didn't want him to leave. I discussed with the chairman. I made him compensated the salary and stayed him put, and he was very happy to stay with me. Subsequently, after 3 years, he got a good opportunity in MNC. Then he joined. Then I very gladly I said, "Now come on, you my friend, you please join there. I have no issue. I will not stop you because that is a good opportunity for you. It's a big MNC. Please, it's a personal growth. Please go ahead." So it's just said that. So I have nothing against any kind of any particular sex or something like that. So I don't know whether I answered correctly or not. If anybody wants to kind of talk to me separately, I can be little bit clarify a little bit more if you want to.
Sure, sir. Thank you. And the other question is coming like how to handle the cross-functional department. As we are in legal and secretarial perspective, and it is a supporting function. People don't understand the compliances very well, and they comment on that. So how to handle the cross-functional department to ensure the compliances of the company?
So, one of the key things which I implemented in my last two companies was compliance tool. So compliance tools did a wonderful support for me because uh, every department there used to be a person who used to do the initial work, and there used to be a person who used to supervise, who used to approve it basically. So just to be checker kind of, and the approver will be there. And the department head is the final person who is actually kind of responsible. I used to give a compliance report to the management on a monthly or a quarterly basis. Uh, in my previous company, I used to ensure that, not current last company, previous to previous company, I used to ensure that the team, every head of the departments issues a compliance report on a monthly basis to the compliance to the managing director. You understand? Monthly basis, the compliance certification is given to the MD, not quarterly. Quarterly, whenever we have to place it in the board, we used to ensure a quarterly compliance report based on the monthly compliance report. There will be challenges because I found many people doing it in the last week of the month, basically compliances. Sometimes I've also felt that they have been just doing it without ensuring the compliance. Kiya bhi nahi kiya. But then, we had a decent internal audit department, and we had a external internal audit team, and we had one of the key things my board members had instructed that to ensure the compliance has been verified properly. So one of the key items they had to kind of discuss in their internal audit report was the compliance management, compliances every quarter.
Okay.
So which had really made the departments, though of course definitely I used to follow them also, call them in the last week of month, boss, isko compliances nahi kiya, there is a lot of things which is popping up. I hope the MD does not see it. You have a certification to be given end of the week. Generally, sales department is something which I end of say marketing to sales mostly will be the delayed people. And logistics their department would they definitely get sometimes delayed, but mostly often off and on they used to be delaying it, but they used to comply with it. It is tough, Bhavesh. It is not easy for them because their job is to get revenue for the company, not to ensure that it is just putting the putting the figures in the compliance chart and approving it and all. But then but lately it has become a part and parcel, and when the department head is facing the board of board members, when the internal audit department the internal audit report is reviewed. So it makes easier for the company secretary and compliance officer to ensure that, okay, the internal audit the report is discussed in the board meeting in the audit committee. So definitely department head has to present themselves. So please, compliance is there. It is their responsibility to ensure their compliances. But as a support function, we have to help them all. Sometimes they feel that कभी कभी IT में एक प्रॉब्लम आ जाती है, कभी कभी सॉफ्टवेयर में इशू आते हैं. That's a different scenario altogether. But following up is something which I used to do it. My team members and everybody is to follow up with them. Please ensure, please the certification has to be given. I used to follow it up, but it is possible.
Okay, thank you, sir.
So if people have not implemented compliance tool, let a compliance tool be there, and should tell your management that this is a very important thing nowadays. Ensure a compliance tool, good tool to be implemented in your function area, all function area. Compliance tool. Okay.
Okay, sir. I would like to request to all the members, if they have any other questions, they may ask related to this topic. So sir can give the answer, and after that we can proceed for the informal discussion as per the schedule.
Yes. I have a question. So which was received by which was received also by us, that what is the key to success? Is diversification is key to success, because sometimes it might happen that some people say that we need to specialize in one topic and then go ahead with it. But being in young age, there are various changes coming up. So diversification, as in we can practice in GST also, tax also, and then Companies Act also. So having knowledge of all these areas also help, or just being stick to a Companies Act and specializing in it will help in the long run?
Well, it's really tough for every professional to grasp each and every knowledge. It's very difficult, and I would not recommend that a professional should have GST or legal, secretarial, or any other additional departments, provided if you have decent support personnel under you, basically. Because you can be a multi-qualified person. You can be chartered accountant, a company secretary, law graduate. Knowing having this qualification may not be helping you at a day-to-day changes which is happening currently in the industry and under the multiple laws. I would always suggest that I always request that professional be core areas, but knowledge of other functions or other related areas is very important for you. Uh, because as a chief compliance officer or a KMP, you come into a situation where sometimes in a board meeting or any audit committee meeting or any other meetings, there will be some questions which is asked, and as a compliance officer, you may be put to test that you are aware of certain things. Of course, there might be sometimes that you may not be aware of it, but if you are aware certain things, it will always help you that okay, this guy has a knowledge and he's keen to understand. Maybe the management feel that that if he gives add-ons the responsibility of another department with the support. You need a support. When you are in a key position, you cannot do everything by your own. But if you have got a right support, definitely you can handle it. Because and expansion of knowledge is always welcome. I didn't get your name. Your
Anup, sir. Anup
huh?
Dahetia. Anup.
Anup. Yeah, Anup. So it is always beneficial to you, but based on the current job responsibility, you should think about it. You should not, as I told you, you should not gulp what you cannot chew. You understand? उतना ही मुंह में लो जितना तुम chew कर सकते हो. अगर लगता है तुम्हारे को तुम contribute कर सकते हो, please do it, and you should be glad to do it. And company will expect that youngsters like you always to be there to help you out. But अगर तुम लेते हो उसके बाद कर नहीं पाओगे ना, that is embarrassment basically. One should never do that. So if you have enough things in your work, or enough responsibilities, or enough happenings already there. I remember when I joined a company, and I was about to join a company. I was in a very good company, and I was in RPG that time basically. RPG got amalgamated, and I had got into opportunity with MNC, and at that company had 80% litigations. 80% of my work was litigation. And that time the AF Ferguson was my auditors. And AF Ferguson ka jo partner tha, that lady was, I still remember what she said. Suresh, you are entering into a company where you will be absolutely burdened with courts and litigations. Why are you joining that company? So, so in my previous company, there was litigation, but not multiple litigation and compounded litigation. So when I joined the company, it was absolutely 80-90% of my work was only in the courts and attending the lawyers and briefing the lawyers basically. I was in Bombay literally every second week. I was in Bombay, but add-on responsibility, though we were company secretaries, both ultimately the legal position was also handed over to me. Then you get the experience of learning things. If you're decently have done that job, maybe not perfect, but you're learning. Definitely, the management will appreciate that. But just for the heck of getting greedy of getting this thing, I'll do that, sir. Don't worry, I'll do that, sir. Don't be in a position to kind of grasp things basically unless you're sure that you'll be able to complete it. That's what my suggestion starts. Do your job perfectly. You have time, please add on to your work. Never think that you are a Vela person, you got time, you are going on time every day in the evening. No, you should possibly try to get maximum work so that you should be in a position to contribute whatever possible way as a support functions. Was I clear to you? I hope.
Yes, 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 sir. Thank you.
Yeah, most welcome. Anything else, friends?
Any other member, please?
Hello. Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
Hello. Yeah. So that was my question. Whether the scope is limited in practice than corporate than in employment. So regarding that, to ask, when there are a lot of people from my internship. I did my internship in PCS firm, and now I'm working in a corporate in Mumbai. They always tell me,
Okay.
you don't get much exposure in corporates and all. Though after I moved to Mumbai, I found it is there are a lot of areas. There are a lot of areas which we can practice in corporate also. So there is a lot of scope in corporate also. But still, my PCS firm and my friends who are in practice, they always tell me ki, you should do job in corporate for 2-3 years, then you should leave and come to practice. For future, it will be good. So what are your views on that?
Priyanka, as I said to you earlier, and I just explained earlier, like, there is, if you want to have a personal satisfaction, if you feel that you want to contribute more and you have potential to kind of develop your skills and widen your knowledge and various multiple practices you want to kind of enter into, then definitely it's a good area, good platform. You should enter into a PCS thing. You should ultimately feel that if you have, because corporate will, at some point of time, there will be kind of, routine work will be there. I'm not saying that at all. It will be, all corporates will not be like Reliance or, that everywhere there'll be investment, blah, blah, private equity or any kind of new ventures. There'll be corporate which will be, kind of content with certain things, normal routine activities. A professional of your attitude may sometimes feel that, okay, I think I'm getting bored, there's nothing more to learn. The same board meetings, same filing, same blah, blah, blah. Same agreements which I'm doing, rent agreement or blah agreements, all those, whatever it is. Then I can understand with you basically. But, sometimes you feel that if there's a potential in that corporate, there's a possibility of there's another venture being opened, or there is another member of the family or another industry or another group is being taken over. You see the potential in the group, and there's a possibility that you have a scope of enhancing your skills or development, and possibly high challenges. You should stay put on. And if you feel that that's not there, you're not feeling that kick at the end of the day, you're not feeling satisfied end of the day, and it is continuing for more than 6 months, 1 year, 1.5 years, 2 years, then I feel that it's a call you to take it. It's not everybody's call. Some people feel that I'm okay with it. Yeah, end of the day, मैं शाम को घर जा रहा हूँ. I'm with the family basically. In a professional setup, in a practice, there is no time bomb. You may have to sacrifice your Sundays. You may have to sacrifice your holidays. You have to be your client specific. Whenever the client speaks to you, call you, you have to be there. But some people like it. As I said to you, my daughter, she's 24/7. She's working 24/7. I'll tell you, she get a kick. She's never get tired. I get very surprised by her attitude. Sometimes I feel that. But she said, I'm okay with it. I'm no problems at all. I'm learning these things. I've got multiple clients. I'm enjoying it. So that's okay. So it's the one's attitude which makes it. If Priyanka, you feel that you can do it, please go ahead. You're young and you should do it.
Okay, thank you so much.
Was it okay, Priyanka?
Yes.
Was it okay? So it's up to you, entirely up to your own. I cannot say anything. Basically, you feel that you're not satisfied. End of the day, you're feeling, oh यार same चीज किया मैंने यार, वो यार मैं तो करके 6 महीने में 1 साल में ये कर रही हूँ, कुछ सीख ही नहीं रहा मैं यार, 1.5 साल हो गया, still कुछ आगे लग ही नहीं रहा कुछ करने के लिए. You feel that, then and you are young, so you probably can do
kind
it.
of repeated work.
Yeah,
I feel like that, yeah.
But मैं एक प्रियंका में कुछ ही बता दूं, एक अगर ग्रुप अच्छी है, पोटेंशियल अच्छा है, there are multiple possibilities which you feel, then you should stay put on. So there are plus minuses in every profession, you understand that. As I told you, in a practice, you have to be, there is no vacations basically for you. You may be called at when you are basically holidaying in Missouri or some other place, you will be called, Priyanka, you come on, you were filing नहीं हुआ अभी तक, please कराओ के दो फटाफट. You will be absolutely करके ये क्या कर रहा हूँ, मैं vacation कर रहा हूँ या ये solve नहीं कर रहा हूँ. And you cannot say no at all. You cannot say no at all. You will be forced to do it. Once you say no, then you had it. So consider that also in your point. Then you plan your strategies for you. But everything is okay.
Because right now I'm actually interested in corporates only, and right now I'm enjoying my work, and I believe in 1 year I'm having a very different exposure in a lot of working, because I'm associated in one of the legal firm also, because I'm having a degree of LLB and doing LLM also. So I don't feel it's restricted in corporate. But a lot of my old colleagues, they used to back me up like, no, you should go for practice. You have done internship.
लिखता हुआ उधर हो, नीचे धरती पे हो जाए एक बारी यार तू
yeah, they may have seen potentials in you basically, na Priyanka. That is the probably reason they would have been advising you on that basically. But if you are onto it, let's do it. I mean, if you feel that this is not the right time, then stay with it right now, and you can join later on also. Okay, yeah. Who is the new friend now? Yeah. Hello.
Hello, sir.
Yeah, hi.
Good morning, sir. So this side Radhika. So
yeah,
currently
Radhika,
I'm student, and so I'm confused about related to training. Like whether should I start training in a firm or in a listed company? So will you please just guide regarding that? Where should I start my training? Like
you're Radhika, you said. You're Radhika, you said, na?
Yeah.
Radhika. Yeah, Radhika,
yes.
I'll tell you, wherever you do the training, you should, I would like, you should get the maximum exposure basically.
Exactly.
That is very important. If you're working with the PCS and who's got decent work, decent companies to cater, then I think there is no harm in for you to do the training under PCS. Get the basics clear basically. How to file forms, how to manage the AGMs, how to make the registers, everything. Get the expertise in basic training. Some of them, it's very important for youngsters to go through the basic to come up basically. Some feel that, ठीक है यार, मैं job करके मैं सब सीख जाऊंगा. If you can learn that with a good PCS, do that. But if you're inclined to kind of a dual responsibility of, some people do the law qualification simultaneously also. If you're doing that also, you want to do the dual role of legal and CS together, then I would suggest then you should get into a corporate where you can get a function, both the functions together. Because wherever I worked as a head of legal and CS only. So I used to give my team both the work, even if they are not lawyers or they are potential lawyers. I should give them, draft this thing, get me a draft, then I'll fine tune it. So, it's that. So initially, if you're doing a CS, completing your CS, I would suggest that if you can get into a hardcore training with any PCS, so that later on, Radhika, when you feel that after 10 years down the line, you feel that, sir, I think I've had enough corporate now, let me come back to practice. You can get into practice very easily. You know the tricks of trade that time, that किस तरह PCS handle करते थे, किस तरह मैं काम करती थी उस समय. So you will know all those things when you learn this at the initial stage. But as I said to you, it's again what you want to aim basically. Ultimately, you want to learn something here, you want to learn or you want to practice later on, then PCS would be ideal. If you want to be in the corporate structure throughout your career, have 6 months or 1 year or 2 years in the PCS line, get into a corporate and have the internship there basically. or a proper job there.
Sir, but right now I'm also confused whether should I start my practice or like do an employment, because sir, as far as I know, practice can be beneficial if you can make a lot of clients during your training, right? So sir, I also want exposure in like listed like LODR requirements in each and everything. Sir, I have done like summer training in VASH Associates Advocate for 2 months. Sir, over there, like I have done like all the legal work related to case law finding and each and everything. And sir, now like I want to have like more exposure related to the listed one. So I want to join over there, but at the same time, I want to do the legal work also, like in form. So sir,
Yeah,
over there, like I'm stuck.
This is at your age, anybody can be similar situation, Radhika. You're not the only one,
Yeah,
and it is at least you have that. Confusion is always good. Sometimes you are still making, you are young, you are making up your mind which is the thing. So I would suggest that LODR definitely is a big compliances issue that matters, and all listed companies would require it definitely. So you are a qualified CS now.
no, sir.
you
Right now I'm
you
student in professional.
student. So so what I suggest you right now, basically, you are in Vesh, so you did internship in Vesh. Basically, it's a
Yeah.
fantastic firm. Satinder Singh and Chawla is very good friend of mine. So when you are, and are you pursuing your law also along with it?
No, sir. I'm
Okay,
pursuing
so
BCom along with that
you be
from
pursuing
DB.
BCom with it. Okay, so once you complete the CS or whatever, you can pursue law also along with it. That is very important. It's a good, deadly
Yeah.
combination along with it also. So when you are, I would suggest right now for learning the tricks of trade of the company secretaries, initial training of PCS would definitely help you to how to kind of manage the filings. Initial, all the filings, what are the forms, which are the forms, what time you have to file it, and meeting the registrar or companies or any other authorities whenever you feel like. So these are the key aspects probably you will not able to get when you are in corporate.
Yeah,
You will learn all this when you are PCS. You will be actually doing the groundwork. You're running around, meeting people, and this is something which you may not like to do it when you grow up. So once you're in a corporate setup, you say, हाँ यार ठीक है, मैं AC में बैठी हूँ, मेरे को बाहर जाने का मन नहीं करेगा. Let the other people do it. This comes to up basically. This becomes a habitual of every profession when you are in a corporate. But corporate में advantage ये है कि if there is if you are part of a legal team also, you get exposure to the legal work. If it's a listed company, definitely LODR work, you said very correctly, you will get exposure. But LODR work, एक बार करोगे, दो बार करोगे, तीसरा बार तुम अच्छी तरह कर पाओगे. Not a big deal at all. It is a routine work. Only thing is that whenever there's changes, amendments which is made, you have to ensure that you carry out the amendments. But the multiple exposure you get in a PCS initially will definitely do you good. Basically. That's what I suggest you at your age right now. Maybe after, when you qualify or little later on, you can get into a corporate, because ultimately corporate will definitely give you some other exposures also. But initially, I would suggest you that you can go to think about that, and later on you can join for a corporate also, and do your law also along with it.
Yeah. All right, sir. Thank you so much.
Welcome, most welcome.
Hi, sir.
Bhavesh,
This is
anybody
Vishwanath
else?
here. I'm from Trivandrum.
Yes.
Who is it?
Vishwanath, I'm from
Hi.
Trivandrum, sir.
Hi, Vishwanath. Okay, I was in Trivandrum
Hi,
till
sir.
last May.
Yeah, no, I have heard a lot about you, sir. I was also associated with King's Group also. At
Yeah,
my
yeah,
time
yeah.
of training, actually.
I've never met
We
you
have
guys. Basically.
two questions.
Yeah, tell me.
Basically, I work at Chennai right now.
Where you work with? Hello.
Yes,
It's
sir.
not audible.
I work with Toll Group.
Okay, all right.
I'm in Chennai.
Go. You're in Chennai. Okay, go ahead, Vishwanath. Tell me.
Sir, I have two questions, sir. One is related to the stereotypes we have related to employment or profession. With regard to employment, they say that for long term, you'll have to be in a listed entity, and in terms of practice, you have to do some NCLT or M&A. So my question is that, for long-term success in the profession, is it really necessary that you should be somewhere in listed entity, or you should specialize in M&A, sir? That's my first question. Second question is related to the word you used regarding saturation. So for a company to feel that you have your time in a company, what is more important? Is it the time you spend in a company, experience you gained, or learning? How do you define saturation, sir?
Okay, I'll speak to I'll answer the second question first. Now, saturation, when I meant basically is that you are not getting exposed to new things. You feel that you have there is no area which you are able to contribute, or it is not that management is not giving you a chance, but rather you feel that there is no new development or growth or movement in the company. You feel that it's a routine work you feel you have been doing for the last 1 year, 1.5 years, and you're not getting a kick of you're learning new things. At your age, probably you would like to do it, because age definitely matters. Maybe after 50, you probably would not like to kind of, but when you are young, definitely why don't you like to learn? Because there's the age of learning for you. So at that time, you feel that, but if you, as I spoke earlier, if the group has a potential, if there's a feeling that there is a stance, there is a new what do you call it, management coming into picture, and nowadays which is happening, there are private equity takes over and they completely overhaul the company, and in that scenario, there's a new learning for you. There's a new set of new team which is coming into a new development can happen. But if X company is satisfied, contented, and they have kind of a monopoly set up that way, they're not too aspirational, then I would leave upon the professional to desire about it. I only consider that as a thing. Never in my the maximum stint I ever in a company was 8 years, and 8 years I had a complete full of actions happening in my one of our companies. I only changed because I wanted to change, because my manufacturing setup for the 15 odd years I was working in a group, multiple groups, to a service sector. I wanted to have an experience of a service sector, which is a healthcare sector. That is, I joined another company which is in Gurgaon in Delhi. From a complete manufacturing background to a healthcare sector to learn new things. Because in a manufacturing setup, after some time you feel there is only X kind of work only you get. In a service sector, there's a little bit more aggressive work you might get into. So only when you feel that you feel that you have a saturation, or you don't have a patience, or your age is like that, I want to learn more. Okay, now I think I've done enough here. I've contributed enough to this company. Management is very happy with me, but I feel that I've got enough to contribute. I'm not able to do it. So that's the only time which I would feel that we should think about. Otherwise, no. Otherwise, no, we should not. Absolutely. Okay. So that is it okay with you, Vishwanath? My answer to you? Hello. Hello.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Okay. So I'll answer the first question to you. Now, as a profession, everybody is not lucky enough to get mergers, acquisitions, disinvestments, insolvency, NCLT, blah blah blah. Everything. You're not lucky if basically, and every professional will have that opportunity to learn. But you have to be patient in a dynamic world nowadays. There will be companies, there will be opportunities when the management would like to kind of expand their scope, acquire to new areas, and subsequently merge the companies. So these are areas which requires patience. You will not get overnight, and you have to be waiting for it. And whatever opportunity you get, you grasp with both hands. And if you're not able to physically handle those things, discuss with your have a small group wherever you feel that in wherever locality you have, and wherever companies who are into the similar field, get knowledge from them, get to know various from the various seminars and conferences you attend. The idea basically is that every professionals may not get the entire exposure at immediate go, but some people are very lucky that way. I probably would have know about private equity after my 15 years of experience. I understand 15, 16 years experience. I understand what is the private equity. So the concept was not there in the initial stage of my career, but subsequently I learned what it is. So I handle multiple private equity players. How to handle the private equity is also a big challenge to you. Vishwanath, are you hearing me, or is it you are? I think you are in. Can you hear me, Vishwanath?
Yeah, understood.
Yeah.
Perfect.
So don't be in a hurry. Don't be in a hurry to kind of learn everything, because you will get opportunities during the time. And while if you get opportunity, if a company is, if a group is potentially wants to hire you for certain things, and you feel that there is opportunity for that purpose, and you feel that current company is not giving that opportunity, then entirely it's a call for you can take it, because you are young. Once at a young age, the maximum grasping power, maximum knowledge, and maximum learning at this age only. So you should not kind of hesitate from handling things that way. So I would suggest that it's not end of it. Listing. Every company ultimately would like to list. I 16 years of my experience was listed company, and I joined a non-listed company. You know why I joined non-listed company? I joined a company, a private limited, closely held with a private equity, just to understand how the private equity functions, how to it's not a listed company. I had absolutely no SEBI regulation to follow. Suddenly, from a completely regulated culture of atmosphere where I was in a previous company, I joined a company with no compliances of SEBI, but compliance of multiple other things. Private equity compliance. There are veto matters of private equity shareholders agreement. You have to comply with it. So these are challenges, you learn it. But then LODR and NCLT or amalgamation is not the key always, but definitely it matters a lot to a professional like us. But it's not only the thing. Whatever you have, whatever job responsibility you have it, ensure that you do it accurately, timely, and to the maximum satisfactorily. I would say that compliance should be 100% compliant. That's what I should have. Whatever job you have in your hand, don't think that other person is doing the handling so much of work. I'm not handling. No, that's okay. You'll also get a time. Maybe your management will get opportunity for that. You to give you will be tested for that also. But be prepared for it. Learn, get the knowledge, and have as I told you, get a circle of friends who has handled it. Ask those friends to kind of give a small lecture on or on a discussion on these matters whenever he has handled certain things to enhance the knowledge of the team member. That's it. Okay.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Thanks, sir. Thank you so much.
Most welcome. Anything else, Bhavish?
If any other member have question, then it is fine. Otherwise,
Sir, good afternoon. This is Arvind Rajagopal from Chennai.
Yeah, hi Arvind.
Sir, pleasure talking to you, sir. We had a great time listening to your experience. It was eye-opener for us. You spoke out from the heart. That was very intense for us. My question is that it is kind of slightly overlapping for what we spoke in the past. See, I understand that understanding of various legal laws, enactments is the basic bread of a professional. I don't deny that. But of late, I'm realizing that a company secretary or a professional in a legal fraternity should also possess some kind of business sense in terms of strategizing some transaction or any decision making. So my question is that what is the preparation that is required for a profession to cope up with that gap? Or see, if time comes, the opportunity might come at any time. But what we as a professional should be aware of, and what is the efforts that we take towards using that opportunity on time?
Well, what I understand from you, Arvind, is while one is in a job profile of a CS or a legal, can you? I don't know whether I understood your question, but let me put it other ways, basically.
Okay,
whatever I understood.
probably I'll try to explain it more. I understand the understanding of Companies Act, LODR, and other SEBI-related regulations is all bred for a professional in a corporate. But I feel like there is also a necessity for a person to have a business sense. Like, for example, if you are given in a situation where you need to strategize a contract which is beneficial for your business.
Yeah, I got you. I got you. In fact, exactly that's what I was coming to. I understood what you wanted to convey to you. Exactly. Every time in the management does not always look you as a okay. You should be legally correct. You ensure that you're legally correct, but always ensure one thing is that ultimately what is benefit to the company is also very important. When I'm saying legally correct, that you should not be compromising on certain applicability of certain statutes, but you should be making very clear about that, conscious about that decision to the management. By doing this, there could be potential of having some issue from these authorities. But you cannot, as a management, I would, if I'm an MD of the company, I would have to get the business for the company. So I would I cannot listen to the legal advisors every each and everything. You can't do that. You can't do this. You should do this only. No, it's not possible. You have to have a calculated risk. That's what the MD does it. But when you MD it does it, sometimes you feel that your management is ignoring completely whatever potential risks are there. So what I suggest to you is that under if those circumstances arises, you should only one-to-one give complete background. If potentially if this happens this way, there is a possibility of violation. There's a possibility of fine or any kind of prosecution happens, and it could come to your personal level as a director level. I would suggest that by doing this way, you will be more safe by doing or going it with whatever the marketing or sales guys generally do. They have the habit of getting into agreements or contracts for beneficial of the company, getting revenue for the company, or getting advantage for the company's purpose. So you have to be very very calculated that, Arvind, at that time. You cannot put your complete foot down. No, I will not do this. No, I will not enter this agreement at all. I cannot do this. I'm completely against that kind of thing. You should not do. Never say that. What you should suggest that, okay, sir, my suggestion is that if you can do this way by ensuring the compliance, but there is a potential of having some chances of possible litigation or possible confrontation from the authorities, which you have to prepare about it. And that thing you have to be making aware of the management, so that you are told them in advance there are issues, potential issues which may or which may not. But you as a legal advisor, as a legal head of the company, you're supposed to inform to the management. If you don't do that, if you keep mum, and if you succumb to that pressure of that other department which is making the contract, then you had it. You understand, Arvind, what I'm telling you? I hope you got it.
Yes, sir, I got it. But I have a different kind of perspective towards my question. See, what I was trying to understand from you is that, see, as a legal professional, you are well versed with your legal aspects. You are clear with your enactments. Your mind is revolving around compliances and all that. But what I feel is that as a professional, I should also have a business sense. How is that I prepare myself? What kind of, see, for example, reading a lot of annual report, or what sort of reading or what sort of preparation will help me in terms of understanding business better, helping the management in terms of strategizing in a better way. That is that kind of inputs that I want from you. What is my preparation? Very primitive question. What should I do so that I have a better business sense, or being a better professional tomorrow?
Well, you said it from your own mouth, with grasping knowledge from wherever you feel. If you can do add-on to your qualification with a MBA, nothing more than being a better business strategist for that purpose. But I'll tell you again, when you are actually in a professional field, a professional area which you want to kind of charter out for you as a when you grow up, and then you have to be. You cannot be a kind of master of all trades and jack of all trades and master of none. At least one profession you have to kind of ensure that while not compromising on your business ethics, business requirements, with the management expects. Definitely, you can contribute in any of the team meetings or any of the things, whatever you feel like, any new area of ventures which you feel in one of my early companies, I had suggested for a healthcare company. I just suggested for why don't we set up a diagnostic clinic, and that time diagnostics were not very prominent. Subsequently, you feel that there is a lot of diagnostic clinic came into picture, a lot of path labs came into picture. I remember very much clearly, but that time there was a initial stages of diagnostic clinic. Now it is every nook and corner you feel the diagnostic clinics. You can always keep these ideas. For that you need to understanding your industry concept very well. And of course, knowledge definitely gives you morale boost, confidence to kind of come out with your solutions. But the legal advices can always be around that field also. I hope I have made it correct. I don't know whether what more I should speak about that, Arvind.
Point
Was it
taken,
okay?
sir.
Huh?
Yeah, I'm convinced. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you very much, Arvind.
Thank you very much, sir, for your all the knowledgeable session today. And I hope we have Suresh sir has answered all the questions which you guys have raised regarding the key aspects, which is our today's topic for a professional growth. So if anyone have any other question or feedback, they can raise within 2 to 3 minutes, so we can close it because we are running short of time. It is 12:47 already, and all people are have to take a lunch. This is a lunch time, so
Yeah, it's a Sunday time. Basically, everybody has got priorities set up. Anybody can send me emails. I'll be most glad to kind of. I'm having a little relaxed time nowadays at my home. After I've been out of Delhi for 1.5 years, I've come back to Delhi. So I'm having a relaxing time. So I've got enough time. I can answer to anybody's. You guys, by which you can pass on my numbers also. Anybody can contact me or anything. I'll be most glad to kind of help any of my professional colleagues, whatever the way which I can do it, professionally, legally. In advising anything which I want to, I can do it. I'll be most happy.
sure, sir. One feedback we have received in our chat box from Mr. Nitin Mehta in person. Actually, he's very grateful and he appreciated this session very well. He's the IP professional and FCS, having a more than experience of 18 years approximately. Just conveying his words to you because he has left the webinar before 10 minutes due to some work. Thanks a lot, sir. Thanks for your kind
Thank you.
words. I hope you will be available whenever we require your assistance next time. As per your
Absolutely. Anytime. I'm extremely thankful, Bhavesh, and all my young friends and experienced friends. Extremely grateful for giving me opportunity to speak to you, and I'm very, very happy. Whatever which I can, knowledge which I can hand and pass it on to you, I'll be most glad. And guys, be free. Take the numbers from Bhavesh. I'm sure Bhavesh can give you numbers and call me anytime, anytime. Don't worry. Even if I don't pick it up, just send me a message. I'll call you back. And that's one thing which I've learned over the years that from my seniors, I told you that I'll always respond to you back.
sure, sir. Whoever required contact details will share them. Thank
Thank
you.
you very much.
Thanks
It's
a
been
lot.
pleasure talking to you all.
Thank you, sir.
Great. Have a nice day. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye. Now, if anyone want to I know there is 12:50 already. So if anyone want to have an informal session, then we can have it for 5 to 10 minutes as we are shorting the time. After that, we can hang on.
Today's session was also good. I just wanted to say an informal session, but it was good. How to get ahead in life, professional life especially.
So let's have a suggestion for the next session on which topic people want. How many of you people are handling the legal perspective also in your companies or in your professional life? Legal work. So we can have one session on legal topic because there is Arvind and there are few people who are lawyers also and having an experience of more than 10 years. So we can have that session too for contract drafting uh, and force major situation. If anyone is handling the legal perspective also. Anyone who are handling legal? सुषमा जी ने हाथ खड़ा किया है, मतलब she handles legal. सुन नहीं पा
Yes,
रहे.
I'm also handling legal, and I think the force majeure is right now currently is a very critical topic to be discussed in many of the organizations because of this COVID-19. So,
Right.
if any senior lawyer can help us with this discussion, it will be really helpful for the learning for all of us.
Yeah, there are one senior lawyer. He is a retained employee of RIL, retained professional of RIL. So he may take a session on that, but actually he is more interested in the contract drafting regarding to sales and purchase. So if anyone has interest in that too, then they may let us know. The another topic would maybe for FEMA. We had the first session of this platform on FEMA. Now we are planning for the next session on FEMA because on any one perspective, like how to raise the capital from outside India, like this topic, compliances process, that person will also from RIL. That we are privileged that we are getting a speaker from very good companies currently. And if anyone is interested in another non-related topic, share market, mutual fund, then also let us know. Vice President of Goldman Sachs or ex-managing director of DLF Pramerica Mutual Fund may take the session. Vice President of Credit Suisse may also take the session on this topics. So let us know the convenient thing in a day or two so we can finalize it. We can discuss with the speaker and finalize it.
First, can message us in personal chats.
In messages in person. I think Vishwanath has also approached Anup for some session, right? Vishwanath, if I'm not wrong.
Can you repeat? My network is very low. Can you repeat that?
Yeah, just I'm telling that you have also approached for one session regarding your group legal head. He can take a session based in Singapore.
Yes.
Corporate governance.
On corporate governance.
Yeah.
Topic for an international perspective. It is a toll group.
Singapore.
Vishwanath cannot hear you properly. You can stand as a message.
So if anybody is interested into, sure, I'll text.
Okay, thank you. Anyone else?
Bhavesh, as I conveyed my interest, I can get you speakers in terms of post major if you want. And if in terms of FEMA also, I know a person who's a very senior person, more than 30 years of in practice, and exclusively he's specializing in FEMA. So he's also advising a lot of top-notch banks and investment banking in terms of their FEMA. So he should have a good topics to speak. Probably I'll just check with them. Meanwhile, if you have anybody else also.
Next, I would request Arvindji and Vishwanath if you can check for next Sunday availability so that we can finalize if that's possible. And what the other member says.
First, share the profile of your suggested speakers. We will review that and we'll come back to you.
Sure, I'll do that. Yeah.
Okay. Arvind, you also, and I think Vishwanath is also, he has left because of the network issue. So he can also share, Anup or me can talk with them and we'll let you know, guys. So Vishwanath is there. Vishwanath, you can share also the profile of the speaker which you are proposing. So we can discuss, we can review also and discuss and finalize. Okay. Anyone?
Today's session was really nice here. I loved it. He just spoke out of his heart and see more than knowledge. I understood a lot of values as a professional should hold. So it was very interesting. Thank you for choosing this topic and the person who should speak on this.
Thank you.
Well thought.
Thank you. Actually, we also want to prepare a bunch of flowers, not only want to sell one flower. So we are trying for that. Anyone else can also take. Radhika has joined today. She can give her brief introduction.
Hello everyone. Is I'm audible to everyone?
Yes, yes.
Good noon, this side Radhika Mangal. I'm 21 years. I'm basically from Haryana. Currently, as I told you earlier, currently I'm student pursuing company secretary along with the digital marketing, video editing, and video animations. And yeah, I like to write and recently made my writing side. And yeah, as far as my skills and strengths are concerned, I'm a good listener as well as communicator. Maybe what do I feel? I'm an extrovert person and like love to make new friends. And yeah, I do believe at most, I believe like God as my priority, and by taking him I'll just go on go on and in all aspects of my life. That's what's about me. Thank you.
Thanks, Radhika. Just want to give you a brief introduction of all the members available today. Having an all are the not all are the but 90% to 95% members are experienced person on this platform currently. There are few students who have shown the interest, so we have granted them a permission to come on this platform. So they are also there. Dushyant is there. He is also a student and pursuing like professional. This is the brief of the members who have attended. There are some teachers also here, teaching for CS professional laws, accounts. You can approach them anytime. If they allow, I cannot give you consent on behalf of them. But if they allow, you can approach them for any query.
I just want guidance related to how to prepare the low subjects. Will anyone please? Actually, I was left with one group, and that contains all the law subjects. So, anyone please kind be enough to guide me related to the law subject, how to write in exams related to law and
So,
everything. If anyone, please.
yeah, so let's have a review from Dushyant. Actually, how he is preparing, you can discuss with him. So after that, we can go with an expert opinion of the qualified professionals. He's also a professional pro, so we can let's have a discussion with him. After that, more of the qualified persons are there. They can give a review on that. Dushyant, please.
Thank you very much. Thank you so much, sir.
दिख नहीं रहे हो आप DKS 54.
Yes,
Voice. Make your volume a bit. Increase your volume, if possible.
Yes, Dushyant, can you hear us? We cannot hear you.
Basically, Radhika, what has happened is that last week Dushyant had the same query. Dushyant is also pursuing the professionals,
All right.
and he is having the same query, and we have discussed for around half an hour.
Oh, okay. Cool. Okay, it's fine. Yeah, I'll just talk to someone else.
Fine. Kajal or Anup can give you a review on this. Because both are teachers and teaching CS professional guys. Anup is also a teacher, was a teacher in one of the university, and he was teaching accounts, FM, etc. So these people as mentors and teachers can guide you offline also. Anyone? I think Priyanka Motwani has commented that she want to give you some guidance. Yes,
Yeah.
Priyanka.
Hi, Bhavish sir. See, I have also recently qualified CS. I'm only having 1 year of experience. So I could guide you on some points because I'm not exaggerating. Just I have cleared all those like groups in one attempt only. So my takeaway for you will be always go for modules. Don't go for different materials because a lot of people will ask you to read this, to read that. But I would suggest you, even if you take some other material, at last you should go through for module because when you will see the question paper previous pattern now, uh, all those questions will be from module only. Some of people who read other material now, they say that this was out of syllabus and all. I have read module always. I never felt in my in my this career, and I've always gone through those previous papers after I passed also. I never felt that even a single question was out of syllabus. Of course, it can't be. No, it will be from company law only. And if you will go through a module, it is very, very well, very thorough. Even of professional company law, it is very procedural part, but it is very thorough. You should go with some case laws beyond that, but don't leave module. Then after that, you should go for scanner. I won't suggest to see the answers in scanner, but because sometimes the language is very, very common. They don't use some legal or professional language in scanner, not company law language we say, no. So just go for questions in scanner, what previous questions are asked. Just complete module and then see whether you are able to answer those questions from the way that it is written in textbook. That I won't believe that you'll be able to, mostly you will at least score 50-60%. So that is one of the takeaway. If you wish to ask some more, you can contact me, not an issue. Yeah, I will be there to help.
Thank you, ma'am. And ma'am, one more thing, like how to write the answers in exam related to law. Like one question come in the exam, then how to attempt it, like what its length and what are, if you are like willing to answer.
Yeah,
I know
of
there's
course.
a shortage of time, but
No, it's fine. See, mostly there are two types of questions. One would be direct, what is corporate governance. Other would be in a situation pattern, like it in an ex limited company. This happened. So what are your views? So you have to
cases.
answer both in very different ways. If it's a theoretical question, it is. I think you can answer it very well. That we answer in schools also. Like, what is corporate governance? You can start what is corporate, then what is governance, then what is corporate governance, and then if you know some case laws and all, if you know sections, that is very well. But if it's a situation based question, then you have to go through the question and see what it is asking. If you can relate it that it is particularly asking some section, then make sure you quote that section number, and if you know penalty of that section and what are the consequences, make sure you are quoting that whole section properly. Of course, I'll ask professional students who that if you know some case laws also, that is good. But make sure you write section number properly. If you don't know, of course, I would ask you to leave. Don't write wrong section numbers, because it yes, because it indicate a very bad impression. So, but try to remember section numbers, because mostly it will help you to score marks and all. So the situation based questions are very different. You will find some like lectures on YouTube also. Nowadays, I have my junior colleagues who are my junior friends who are also doing CS. They asked me, and I have shared some YouTube videos with them. A lot of CS professionals who have told how to write answers. So you can go through YouTube once. They will properly tell you how to write an introduction, then section, then so you can just practice it at home. Also, I'll ask you, don't only read, just try to write it also, because sometimes what we do now, we just learn it, and when it comes to writing now, we are not able to express it. So if you try and practice it at home now, some few sections, when you know you are thorough, just write it down, so you will get the confidence. And and when you will write an exam now, you will recollect it. Yes, I have written this, so it would be very, very helpful. Those things have
And
helped
ma'am,
me.
and
Yeah.
ma'am, the main thing is how to remember the penalties. Like there are